Okay, we are all set. We'll give just a minute and let some people join us here. On this Monday that's a little overcast, but at least it's not going to be 100 degrees, I don't think.
Yeah, I was just in Jamaica.
Oh, gosh.
Recovering from 14 months, and it was so hot there.
I bet, yeah. And it's like a humid heat. It's not the dry heat that we have.
Yeah, we have more elevated heat because of the elevation. The sun is not, but there is more humid. And that was during the hurricane.
Oh my gosh.
The hurricane hit on Wednesday.
I didn't realize you were down there during that.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. But we were there 4 days before it came, and we were in the north. So Montego Bay didn't really get hit. It was the south of Jamaica that got hit. So for us, it was more of a really extended, windy rainstorm, right? Yeah. But we still lost a couple of days of the vacation, and we had to leave on Friday. So,
shoot. All right, well, we've got some people joining us, so I'm going to go ahead and get started this morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another City Updates live broadcast. I'm Jamie Chavez, your host with the Westminster Chamber of Commerce, and we are thrilled that you've joined us today. As always, we're here to bring you the latest insights straight from City Hall, featuring conversations with our councilors, mayor and mayor pro tem, and other city leaders as well. And it is your backstage pass to what's happening in Westminster. If this is your first time joining, thanks. We're glad to have you here. If you're on Facebook, you can like and follow our page, and you will receive notifications for when we go live in the future. And if you're on YouTube, you can hit subscribe, and all of our previous broadcasts are there as well if you're interested in watching any of those. Mondays on the broadcast are all about city updates, and Wednesdays we offer a chance to meet some of the newest members of the chamber and let you hear about their businesses or nonprofits. So I encourage you to join us for those broadcasts as well. And then on the last Friday of the month, we feature our Jeffco Commissioner Tracy Kraft Tharp. So stay tuned to that for broader county matters. As you watch the broadcast this morning, please feel free to engage with us, drop your comments, ask any questions, say hello, and we will get to those during the interview. And now finally, a warm welcome to City Councilor Obi Ezeadi. Thank you for joining us today. How are you?
Good, thanks for having me.
Yeah, we've got some people joining. Good morning, Dave. Emilio's here with us. Good morning, Emilio. Thanks for joining us. So how are you today?
Well, we were just talking about so I'm still recovering from vacation and catching up on all the various things, but I'm good. Today will be a big night at City Council. It could go all the way to 2 a.m. It's possible.
Oh
So
I feel like this is just normal at this point.
Yeah, I think we've averaged about midnight. I think midnight is the average the last 6 months or so.
Okay. Yeah, it's going to be a late one. What do you have on the agenda for this evening?
Yeah, so last time we covered things like the fire CBA and the new one and the drinking water facility funding. Tonight, we have a whole lot of things, like the hotel expenditures. We are approving the 2024 for the unhoused, right? So we have to approve those expenditures. We have a public hearing on CDBG funds. We have so Westminster Community Foundation, formerly known as the Westminster Legacy Foundation, is coming to extend the amount of subsidy that the city provides, but for the last time, right? For the final time. And that's really exciting what we've done. So I'm on the board of the Westminster Community Foundation, and that new board has done so many great things, and we're excited to tell everyone about it soon. The first thing, sorry for the side note here, but we just got a grant, a $700,000 grant in partnership with Almost Home to provide rapid rehousing services for 15 to 24-year-olds who are experiencing homelessness in Westminster. So that'll cover the next 2 years. So a lot of great things coming out of that. We also have the resignation. So Mark Freitag, the city manager, he resigned on the 16th. And tonight we will be appointing Jody Andrews, who is currently the deputy city manager, to the position of acting city manager while we go through the recruitment process. So I know that was a shock for the city last week. By the way, there are 2 other resignations across the front range: Louisville city manager and Arvada, all in July.
I saw Arvada. I didn't realize Louisville had also had a resignation. Gosh.
So a lot there, and I'm actually writing about that. So I have a newsletter. I could put it in the chat. Can I type right in here? I can do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm going to be posting this morning about the resignations, just to summarize it all, because folks don't really know that it was that many of them. And some nice words about Mark. Mark did really good for us as a city. So if people go to that link, you can sign up for my newsletter to get that post. But that's happening. We also have the gun bill. All right, so much of public comment tonight will be probably a lot of people on both sides of this. So should I give a recap here?
Yeah, that'd be great.
So Senate Bill 24 in 2024, Senate Bill 131, which was signed May 31st by the governor, and goes effective July 1st, so it's already effective now, basically says that firearms it establishes a class 1 misdemeanor for any person bringing a firearm into what's called a sensitive space, right? And they're defining sensitive space to be basically the chambers of a local government body like City Hall or courthouse. It's basically whenever there's a publicly noticed meeting of city council, wherever we are. So we could be at a golf course. If that was a publicly noticed meeting, so say we have a town hall there, no one will be allowed to carry a firearm, even if you have a concealed carry weapon permit, into that space, for lots of reasons, a lot of great reasons. And staff, police department agree that it's a really good bill. They agree with what's going on. But the issue is tonight, so one of my colleagues will be bringing forth a resolution to opt Westminster out of that bill, form our own bill that would allow guns to come into City Hall. And that's what the debate is, whether or not we should opt out of that bill or not. So you'll hear a lot of comments tonight on both sides. That's why I said that this could go long tonight.
Yeah, I imagine that's going to have a lot of public comment and a lot of debate for sure.
Any questions on that before I move on?
Nope, doesn't look like it. Go ahead, and people might still swing back, but we'll get to them if that happens.
And then there's wards. So in the post meeting, as lots of folks know, wards. So Westminster is a at-large city, meaning we elect our city council at large. The entire city votes for it. We don't have wards or districts since the beginning of our history. Last November in 2023, there was a ballot question that said to Westminster, hey, should Westminster propose by 2026 a system that elects some or all of us from geographic wards rather than at large? And the people said yes. So I think it was 53% said yes, we want to move to a ward system in some way, right? So in May of this year, we established a special wards advisory committee. And that committee was comprised of individuals that each of us on council, so 7 of us, each appointed one person to the wards committee. And their goal of that committee was to come up with a set of recommendations with 3 objectives, right? The first was the number of wards within the city. The second is the number of council members per ward. And the third is whether or not we should have at-large council members. right? So the mayor will always be at large, but this is about the six councilors, should any of them be at large. Last week on the 18th, they met for the third or fourth time, I think, and they came to a consensus on 3 options. Those 3 options will be presented to us tonight, and I actually sat in on that final awards committee, and it was really fun to watch, by the way, just to see democracy in action, right? Because that's what the whole goal is of awards. A lot of great benefits to awards: representation, right? Familiarity with local issues, more accountable councilors, more inclusive, and it reduces campaign costs. So I think it just opens up that democratically, more areas of the city should see a lot more good stuff if we get this thing through. So tonight we will choose at City Council which recommendation or which version of that we want. And then what will happen is the lawyer will write up a ballot question with that recommendation for this November's election. So there will be a ballot question on there with the recommended, number of wards, et cetera. And if the people say yes to that, the final step is the fun part. That's the designing. How will we design the wards? The borders of each ward and how that looks. That's the hard part. It's difficult, and there's a lot of criteria. But we have a consultant that we've hired who's been with us through this advisory committee process, and she will guide us through the best practices so we don't inadvertently reduce democracy in the design of these wards. So more to come there, but that's going to be a big discussion tonight as well.
Yeah, and I think I saw you had posted what the 3 options were. I don't know if you want to get into those on the broadcast.
I don't have it top of mind. So they went through maybe 20 different options, and 3 were chosen. And I did post what those were on social media. And in my newsletter, if you sign up for that, the one I'm sending, or the one, so I actually wrote part 1 of that. So I had an in-depth deep dive on what I just talked about now. Mm-hmm. If you want to sign up, you can go and read my post that I posted a few days ago. There will be part 2 and part 3 and part 4. So the goal is I'm trying to take people through in a transparent way what we're doing, why we're doing it, because this is such an important topic.
Awesome. All right. Cool. Don't think we've got any questions yet, so we can go on to the next thing.
That's really going to be tonight.
Okay.
There's a lot more on their agenda, but those are the main things when I can think of.
Well, I saw another announcement that you had posted that Westminster is getting a Trader Joe's, so that's exciting.
Yes, Trader Joe's. I had no idea how popular Trader Joe's was, Jamie. It's unbelievable how much positive response this got versus many other things that we talk about in the city. The dog park gets a lot of love here, and Trader Joe's. But yes, Trader Joe's, late 2025, they signed the lease. Our Westminster Economic Development Department, they deserve all the credit here. They worked for years for this. And I know a lot of other cities tried to get them in. We were first, we did it. And people are really happy, we're really excited about it. So I'm hoping that's going to help rejuvenate that area. It'll help bring a lot more foot traffic. It will help the downtown. Is really close to downtown. So it's going to be across from City Hall, right in that center right there. And yeah, more to come when we know more.
Yeah, I think and that's where the Sierra Trading Post is located now, right? Am I correct in that? There's a Sierra Trading Post and like a Barnes and Noble. It's in that shopping center, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's super exciting. People travel a long way to go to Trader Joe's, so I know that will be very well received.
Oh, and by the way, I wanted to give a congratulations to. So I just saw this because I'm catching up on everything. To Nothing Bundt Cake, they won Best Bakery in Westminster and Best Dessert in Westminster.
Yeah.
Congratulations to them. And I think Legacy Ridge won Best Golf Course. And so I'm just reading through what all those awards were. So
yeah, that's exciting for them. Yeah, the owner there, she's great, and she's always super busy, and so she's It's a very deserved award for her. So yeah.
And can I ask, so unless you have more questions, I want to pivot into something else real quick.
Yeah.
You have any more questions for me on city?
We should talk about the dad cam thing you posted about a few days ago. We were talking about this before we went live. Yeah.
Yeah. So my daughter's Gracie. She knows she's more known than I am. Since she was 5, we've done this thing called Daddy Camp every summer. It's a few weeks where I prepare a program of activities where her and I do something together. There's usually a goal, right? So I missed it last year, but so this year, the goal of this Daddy Camp was to increase her intellectual autonomy, right? So the program that I developed was, okay, week 1 is going to be reading comprehension. And that's what we did 2 weeks ago. So we picked a book, we deep dived on that book. She presented things, I presented things, we analyzed the book really deep. The second week though, I gave her the choice to teach me something, right? So she chose, so she's been in dance since she was 3, various dances. So ballet, jazz, hip hop, contemporary, she's done it all. So she chose dance. So she taught me dance for 7 days, mainly ballet. And I actually enjoy ballet. I didn't think it was that hard. I have so much more respect for dancers because I realize how unfit I am, how unflexible I am, and how much hand-eye coordination she has, right? Because we were saying things like, my wife and I would say, hey, let's get Gracie into baseball or sports, some kind of like volleyball, or because the hand-eye coordination is not there. But believe me, it's there.
Yeah.
She has advanced hand-eye coordination, and she taught me that week that I don't have anything because I can't do a lot of dances with my hands and feet at the same time. The coordination is all off, apparently, and she's way beyond me. So the third week of the Daddy Camp is coding. We're gonna learn Swift coding.
Oh, very cool.
Daddy Camp.
Yeah, that is an awesome thing to do with kids over the summer while they're home for sure. We got Parker joining us as well. Morning, Parker. All right, so you had some other things you wanted to pivot into?
Yeah, so I have a question for you, Jamie, and for the chamber. I've been thinking about, what's a way that I can tap into the minds of various stakeholders, right? One of the most important stakeholders in the city is businesses, small businesses. And I'm preparing a survey. I'd love to partner with you on, I guess, what that survey holds. But the goal is to figure out what are the top 3 challenges that small businesses are facing in Westminster, right? What city services do they like the most? And what policy opportunities exist? And I think a survey is so we have too many surveys. So this is not a city survey, it's an OB survey. We're gonna make it short. It's not gonna be a whole long thing, and maybe this could be an in-person survey. So this could turn into just a series of meetings that I have, right, with businesses that you tell me to go to, Jamie. But basically, the goal is, all right, so if you love city services, what are your challenges, though? Like access to capital, marketing and sales, supply chain issues, technology upgrades. What is it that you're facing? And then on the other side, how can the city help? So can we reduce regulatory burden, right? Can we provide tax incentives? Can we enhance public infrastructure, improve public safety? Whatever those things are, I want to kind of marry the two, because right now, I think that some businesses are doing well, some are not, and they're quiet about it, right? It's hard for me to know because they're private businesses. I'm just trying to open up the brains there of the owners there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that they always appreciate that. I do think that a lot of times they'll get another survey, and so maybe they'll think about it and want to fill it out, but just don't have the opportunity. So there's a good opportunity to get creative there with how you collect that information. But yeah, happy to help kind of brainstorm with you on that and how you get useful data out of this. One thing you didn't mention, I think, is employees. That's a big one right now for a lot of businesses. So yeah.
Finding qualified employees.
Yeah, and keeping them. Yeah, retention. So that's a big one also. Yeah, but happy to help out with that.
And that's all I got.
All right. Well, we'll wait and see if we have any other questions. But do you have anything else exciting planned for the rest of your summer?
Just Gracie time. Now that the campaign is over, I'm just basically reconnecting back to my family that I didn't see for 14 months.
Well,
so that's been great.
Glad to have Dad back. Do you have any fun vacations planned or going to do anything?
No, we just did the Jamaica thing. Gracie's going to see her in-laws in Idaho next week. And no, nothing else planned. School starts already next month.
I know, isn't that crazy? Yeah.
So fast.
I have a 6-year-old. We were talking about this before we went live, and she's she's going to a new school for the first time. So she's very excited and I'm very nervous.
Is that first grade?
Yeah. Yep.
What school?
Yeah. She's gonna be going to Woodrow Wilson Academy. So
it's a great school.
She's pumped and Mom's nervous. That's how it goes, I guess.
Where was she before in kindergarten?
She did kindergarten just at Primrose.
Oh.
Yeah, so kept her there for an extra year to make sure she was ready, and now she's chomping at the bit to go. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, don't be scared. You got to let them go sometime.
I know. Yeah. It's, I'm not usually like a helicopter mom, so I'll try not to be, but definitely keeping an eye on her. She's a good kid, though. And Gracie's 10, you said, right? So she's probably going into 4th grade. Is that right? 5th grade?
She's going into 5th grade.
Okay.
And she's 10 in 2 days.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, that's a really fun age. We were talking about kids and how they get more independent and more like little people.
It's really fun when they're little people versus smaller, for sure, because you get to teach them about the world, right? And have real conversations. So that's a fun age. Now, probably when she's 12 and 13 is when I won't have those opportunities anymore. But I'm trying to take advantage of it now.
You're in the sweet spot. That's like, I don't know. I always think like 6 to 11 or 12 is like the sweet spot for girls when they still really love you and want to be around you and they're not sassy yet.
Right.
Yeah. What are your favorite things to do around Westminster with Gracie?
Well, we like to go to the movies. We just went to see Twisters. Not a sequel, but it's a standalone movie to the original, and it was really good.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, we like to go to restaurants and the park, various parks and trails. We bike. Yeah. We bike a lot, on the trails.
Yeah. I've been asking in these interviews, what are some of what's your top 3 favorite restaurants in Westminster?
Oh, keep in mind, keep in mind what? Oh, Carrabba's is number 1, of course, Parker. Am I still on? Hello? Oh, my screen froze. Hello? Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I think we're back. Are we back?
Yeah, sorry, my screen froze out there.
No problem. I think we're good. All right, so
Yeah,
you were
so-
talking about top 3 favorite restaurants in Westminster.
So just because Parker's watching, Carrabba's is number 1. Number 2 is Love Sushi,
Oh, yeah.
which is right next to us, and Sano's. Sano's is an Italian restaurant. It's wonderful. We go there a lot. That's also really close to us.
Okay, cool. Awesome. I don't know that I've been there, actually. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's great. It's a family-owned restaurant. They've been around a long time.
Well, we have just a couple more minutes if there's anything else you want to mention to everybody.
Nope, just sign up for my newsletter. It's new and improved. It's going to be a lot more frequent and a lot deeper dives, right, on all the various things. It's just one way I think that we as elected officials should be informing constituents and on all the things. That doesn't happen very much across all levels of government. And we can start with us, right? It starts with each person. So I'm trying my best. And let me know if you like it, if you don't like it, how it can improve it. You can always send me an email or send me a text or make a comment on the post. But yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for joining us today, and good luck at your very long meeting tonight. And we'll have you back on here in a few months.
All right. Thank you all.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for joining.
Bye.
Happy Monday.